That's nuts.
You're trying to do something shady, and you're engaging a shady company to do it, and then you're surprised when they're not
shady.
Yeah, when
yeah,
they're doing
right.
shady
Yeah,
shit.
I mean that's an excellent point. Hello.
Hi,
Welcome back to Memory Ash.
I'm Ashley,
I'm Mitch.
and we are watching Ashley Madison, Sex, Lies, and Scandal, Episode 3, Live in Truth.
Took us a while to get here.
Long time. Sorry about that.
Yeah, but we're finishing it finally. If you haven't seen the first two, you can go ahead and go watch those. We'll put it on a playlist.
I think when we last left this, they left it on a cliffhanger of whether or not the, creator of this had, been the hacker, basically. Or, engaged the hacker in some kind of way, paid them or...
Yeah.
So...
As a underground ploy to get viewers or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, to, bring more attention to, Ashley Madison. So I suppose that's where we're at with this.
Yeah, that's good.
And then we're also following the YouTuber couple that have been disgraced now because...
But they were forgiven.
Right,
Sorry.
by God, so
yeah.
it's fine. But I would imagine they're going to wrap up their storyline as well. Because now we know that the husband has lied to his wife and told her that nothing physical went on. Physical things did happen. And then we also have, the public catching on to this and, their public apology. So...
All right.
Let's do it.
Anything else? Let's go in. Let's do it.
As you may have seen, my name has been associated with an Ashley Madison account.
I love that they're here, watch this on an iPad.
I know, why?
Watch your embarrassing lies on an iPad.
Was that true, what he said in the video?
No, what I said in the video was just mostly, pretty much all lies.
I'm glad he's at least owning up to the repeated bullshit now, but it's you can't trust a thing he says anymore. Because how many times? How many times?
I have trouble trusting people that are pushed into truth too.
Yes.
It's
like the torture argument. You're not getting good information out of them.
Right. I don't like that. I like when people
volunteer.
Yeah. Volunteer your own transparency and accountability. Don't force people to make you do it.
Yeah.
A naive, hopeful, kind of blinded girl.
I do feel bad for her in the sense that her husband is lying to her and cheating on her.
I agree.
And I think that sucks.
I agree.
And she was unwillingly pulled into that when she really didn't do anything to deserve that.
They thought they were gonna get Disney co-affiliation and basically, and they're gonna be a cute little family online.
This was a difficult time to navigate.
It would be hard to work there.
Oh, absolutely.
And then you wouldn't want to tell people where you work. They're
Yeah.
oh, what do you do?
Oh, I'm in IT or something, right?
They work in online dating.
Yeah.
That was a lot of publicity for the company. My thinking was maybe this was a publicity stunt.
And this is the forensics expert that is well, what else do we have here?
And this is a company that does not mind negative advertising.
Yep. They're thriving on it, actually.
Mm-hmm.
For hackers releasing a second mountain of data just days after posting tens of millions of email addresses.
Why am I nervous? I'm part of it, you know what I mean?
I'm too tired to be nervous.
It was his whole email account. I think he knew at that point how dangerous it would be if they were released.
So we're thinking at this point it's not an inside job then, right? Because at the point that they're releasing emails from the CEO, it's probably not the CEO releasing his own emails and making himself look like a dipshit.
Or it's a double blind.
I don't think so.
Yeah, it could be.
We're being greeted by fans right away, guys. After we posted the Forgiven video, it was the next day, we woke up and pretended like nothing ever happened.
So this is within days. It's they landed, then they posted the apology while they're at their hotel room, and then they just went there. Holy the cojones, dude.
And you're gonna say sorry.
Oh god, I'm feeling embarrassed. Secondhand embarrassment right now.
Could you imagine having to go up on a stage after you've been outed for doing something completely against the persona that you've adopted publicly? Because the problem isn't really that he was on Ashley Madison, it's that they built their platform on being this faithful, religious couple.
Yeah.
Sam, you have to be fully honest.
And my wife was like, what is he talking about? I'm like, baby, he's trying to start crap. Just ignore it.
Liars, dude.
Woo. Some Harry Jousey up in this car.
Woman that I loved so much, and I was still having to lie to her.
You weren't.
Still having to lie to her.
No one's forcing you to lie to her, though. Like, you're doing that of your own accord. You're choosing that
I hope
path.
he's paraphrasing his old thoughts and not framing it this way nowadays, although I suspect that's the case. Choosing to lie to her. I feel like somebody who had more accepted what had happened would say choosing. All over these people. He doesn't take any accountability for what's happened.
He scares me, honestly.
Yeah.
I would not want to be married to him, and I wouldn't want to have to trust him with anything.
No, anything. Like, wear body cam 24/7 so I know where you are. Jesus. And that's not a healthy relationship, let's be honest.
I would honestly
I gotta
just,
say
I'd
that.
be trying to get out, I
Yeah.
think.
Well, some
But
people
it's
will
their
never
brand.
divorce, too.
Yeah.
I will never get divorced, is what a lot of people say. And you gotta ask yourself, would you in this case? We know what they think.
I mean, I'm pro-divorce, not
Yeah.
like,
Yeah. When necessary.
when necessary.
It's a tool.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's a useful tool.
Why be miserable? Like, life is so short. Why be
Yeah.
miserable?
Well, life is short.
Yeah.
It's literally their motto.
Mine is life is short.
Get
Why
divorced.
be miserable and hurt the people around
Yeah.
you? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Get divorced.
And in order to stop lying, I had to confess the truth of the past.
I don't believe him now is the problem.
I don't
When you're
either.
this deep of a liar, it's tough to believe anything, even if he admits all these things.
I want to give
How
you
do we know
like,
that's
weird
it?
shit. Like, at that point, I'm like, is he just trying to throw us off the set? Like, I don't...
They were going to put me out there as, the mistress, the villain, the cheater, that breaks up marriages.
Because she has tattoos.
Yeah.
What a cliche.
I know.
So dumb.
And he had the impression of being very clean cut. But when the family left, the real Noel kind of came out.
Oh, please.
You thought that this man with all of this wasn't doing shady shit? Of course he is.
I called it episode 1, didn't I? Let's see.
If they start digging, they're going to find the real Noel.
I want to know
He's
who this
been
guy
cheating
is.
for sure, but I mean, he's started a website for cheating.
As a married man who claims to have never been cheating on his wife.
The point is that it's a business and it's really separate from our life.
Who believed this man, though? Who believed
Why
that
would
he
you?
runs this website and he wasn't participating in cheating? And he justifies it for everyone else.
Mhm.
But he wouldn't justify it for himself then?
Yeah.
And he thinks it's so great and so good for all these marriages. That's what he's been going all these
Literally
shows and
saying
saying. And yet not for him?
Actually, Noel had been having affairs with multiple women over
So surprised.
Shocking.
I can't even pretend to be shocked, honestly. That's like someone young, fun,
That's the most boring thing that they've said.
once a month.
But it went further from Noel, interested in 18 to 19-year-olds.
Oh, no.
He's a creep.
I just don't understand why he would necessarily need to be reaching out to escort services when he's essentially running one that would be free for him. So
I know.
It's
Just
a little
do that,
weird.
bro.
But maybe he was afraid of getting caught
Internal
in his
stuff.
own website.
But then
yeah.
it still got his emails hacked. So
I just
'cause they're
mean
tied
that
to the
like
company.
people
Employees and shit?
using it would know it's
Yeah,
him. And
that's
then,
true.
You know what I mean?
And I just felt devastated for her and his kids.
I'd say he has some
So,
morals, but
You can see the damage caused to them
because he has
by people cheating.
proximity, you know?
Right. It's like he has
He's
no
a
empathy for anyone else, but he has
asshole.
empathy for Noel.
Yeah.
When it's the same
When
fucking
Noel
situation.
is the last person you need to have empathy. Well, actually, he almost has more empathy for her and the kids than he does for Noel.
But he
though.
doesn't have empathy for the kids and the wives that
Yeah,
are involved
yeah.
and everybody
Or
else
husbands.
that's using this
Yeah.
service. Yeah, or husband. You're
Mostly
right.
wives, though.
Sorry, I'm putting it all on the men.
No, it's
but-
okay. I mean, statistically speaking.
Noel was, for me, a suspect until they released his emails.
Yeah, it's people in positions of power.
It's
They feel
power.
like they can't be touched.
Yeah. We say it over and over again on this channel. It's power.
Power's the
Corrupt.
corrupting force
Yeah.
for sure. It doesn't really matter who gets it. It is
Yeah.
like Frodo with the ring.
Yeah. It's the literal ring.
I gotta tell Nia more than what she knows.
I just don't care about this guy's sob story anymore.
I don't care either. And I don't feel bad for him. And I
Yeah.
do get the impression he wants us to feel bad for him. And I don't.
Oh, it was just so hard. I don't care, bro.
It just started coming out, man. All
I mean, he feels bad for himself. That's what he feels. He doesn't give a shit about Nia even now. I don't believe it.
I thought having that extra sex outside of marriage would be exciting.
Was it?
He said would be, but earlier when he talked about it, he said it was.
Yeah.
Distinctly was exciting for him.
Acted out in our marriage. It was like hell.
Yeah, that would be horrible for
That
her
would be
sitting
horrible.
there.
Yeah.
And you basically, I wonder if she's sitting there thinking, like, do I even know this person? Because that's so different from who she thinks she's married to.
The emotional betrayals, those were really hard on me because love is so important to me.
So is business.
Onto a couple of her friends who didn't reciprocate.
He came onto her friends.
It was anybody, honestly, is what it sounds like. And her friends never told her.
Because how do you,
Yeah.
I have been in situations
Because you're going to get cut out, not
where
the
it's
husband.
like, how
yeah.
do you tell your friend what's happening? Because you know you're not going to be
Yeah,
the
it's
one
true.
they pick.
She's going to jest that shit.
Yes.
She's going to cut that friend out and say, you're lying.
Yes.
You just want my man. You're
Yes.
jealous. You're jealous of my success.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You really can't, like, there's no
Yeah.
good way to deal with that.
That's true. What you do is you just leave, stop being friends or something. I don't know.
Like, slowly Homer Simpson yourself into the background.
Yeah, Homer Simpson. Good strat.
Our wedding day, the day we met.
The tragic music. I'm sorry, I don't care documentary. Should I care? Am I supposed to care?
I can't believe he hit on her friends.
I know. Well, I can.
Dude.
But also, like, nah, bro.
Come on.
Because of the extortion that came along, and as a result of the data being released, people were taking their lives.
Do they even know who did it?
I don't know that we will. I don't know if we're going to find out.
It is really sad that you have people that took their own lives
Yes.
because of this leak. It is really sad.
Yeah, it is.
It's awful.
It's tragic. I don't even know what to believe anymore, but I do believe that these ad breaks are going to be pretty short.
People's lives were literally at risk now. I wanted to call back.
Yeah, but like I hear that, but it's already been leaked.
Yeah,
So in
so
a
what are
way,
you
like,
gonna
what are you
do?
gonna do, right?
Yeah.
We did it to stop the next 60 million. Avid Life Media is like a drug dealer abusing addicts.
Interesting. So now they're actually giving, like, reasoning behind it.
That is an interesting analogy because you have a whole bunch of people that potentially are like sex addicts.
Yeah.
They're doing things, as much as I don't like the guy that they're focusing on, he's doing stuff he clearly is ashamed and embarrassed of.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, he doesn't love that was
There's, like, the
what
aiding
he
and
was
abetting
doing.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there's a person in the comments in one of the first videos that gave it as an analogy to a liquor store. I don't know, but it's like, it does fall in that kind of area. Like, I don't think we should close down liquor stores.
Alien that said Trusted Security Award turned out to have been totally made up.
Of course it is.
A lot about Ashley Madison is embarrassing, frankly, and the people that should
Yeah.
be embarrassed are the ones that are the least embarrassed somehow.
This hacking group says those customers who paid the fee to have their information deleted were lied to.
That's nuts.
You're trying to do something shady, and you're engaging a shady company to do it, and then you're surprised
When they're
not.
shady?
Yeah, when
yeah,
they're doing
right?
shady
Yeah.
shit.
I mean, that's an excellent point. It's like buying from a drug dealer and then saying, I'm sorry, bud, my product isn't quite what you advertised.
Right.
He's going to tell you to f off.
Right,
Okay.
absolutely.
I thought the paid delete in the beginning was a great idea. Well, that brought in a lot of money.
Pay to delete, but never actually deleting? That's nuts.
Wow.
So that's fraud.
I mean, spoiler alert, this Ashley Madison still exists.
I mean, but they could like
So-
settle claims or whatever.
It's so frustrating, though, because companies are rarely held accountable for things like this.
Virtually never.
And I was just a stripper. You know, do I know you from the club? How do I know you? He's like, well, we talk on the, the website. What are you talking about? He's like, Ashley Madison.
Wow, for real?
Are people spoofing her?
They stole her likeness?
Her identity?
Wow.
Are they scared? Because they didn't have enough women. Right?
So are they taking women's likeness and then
Yeah.
scamming men with those women?
They're
women?
not even chatting with real women. This is part of the scam. So this is where you find out the entire business is a scam. At this point, anyway. How did they make it past this as a company? Honestly, I'm shocked.
These guys have not only seen my profile on Ashley Madison, but they actually think they're talking to me.
It's not actually women. It's like they're pretending it's women.
Yeah. Could you imagine what they'd be doing with ChatGPT?
Oh my gosh, that's terrifying, honestly.
You're talking to somebody you think is on the other side, and then suddenly, as an AI, I cannot feel one way or the other. You know what I mean? Like,
We all could have questioned a bit more whether some of these claims were too good to be true.
It's one of those things, though, where it's so taboo to talk about extramarital affairs that if you just have a website like that telling you, oh yeah, women do it as much as men do it, you're not really going to question it because you're like, oh, I guess they just don't talk about it.
Yeah.
And there's so many things that are like that. You just lump that in. Oh, I guess women just don't talk about this, but they do it just as much as men.
Or somebody in the office was creating these fake profiles.
We knew there were fake profiles on the site.
Oh, there you go, Kathy.
I'm sorry. I just can't, like, and maybe this is just me. I happen to work at a place that I greatly respect, and that's very important to me. I think it would be hard for me to work someplace like this if I knew that they were scamming a whole bunch of people on top of just being, like, in a moral gray area and all of that. I just don't. This is beyond to me. I would not want to work somewhere. I'd be actively trying to get another job.
Yeah.
Because you're complicit.
Yeah, absolutely.
You're helping them operate. You're helping them do this.
There's only so much people. I was just doing my job, you can say.
Absolutely.
Like, at a certain point, you're just a piece of shit, too.
Right. And I understand there are circumstances. People need their paychecks. I understand all of that. But for some of these people...
Where's the line? I asked that.
Most of them were probably either talking to Ashley Madison employees or just interacting with automated bots.
So those employees are just chatting with random people all day. It's just like a sex line. You know, those old phone lines and stuff.
Only they feel like they're real, so they don't feel like they're paying for it like they would if they called into like a sex chat line. But they are. It's the same thing. They just don't know it. They're being duped into thinking that it's real and someone's actually interested
in them. And then they might actually like hook up with them at some point.
Right.
Because the expectation with the sex line is that it's just the talk.
Exactly.
You know,
and here,
you know
right.
what it is.
And here there's more expectation that you might actually meet and have like sexual relations with these people.
But it's hooked up to some artificial intelligence, and the bot would send the first email.
Is this the first ChatGPT?
So how do you know all the people that are currently using Ashley Madison right now, how much money are you paying, and how sure are you that that's a real person you're talking to?
I ask you.
For real, though.
Yeah.
Why do people use this?
I don't know why you would ever go back to a company like this.
It's a scam.
Like, you're getting played.
Right.
You're not even getting that affair you're looking for.
No.
It's so embarrassing. I mean, it's kind of it's karmic. It's karmic, but it's embarrassing.
It's embarrassing.
I mean, that shows predatory behavior from Ashley Madison.
Oh, big surprise. Predatory behavior from Ashley Madison.
Shocking.
Wow. Again, the music.
In some way, I am still shocked. Do you know what is weird? Is in some way, I am shocked.
Women were the product, but mostly the fantasy of the idea of women was the product.
It's not even women. It's not even people you're talking to. It's
some of these aren't even real. Yeah.
There was a general meeting for the whole company. Someone from the board had come in to let us know that
all Ashley Madison employees are bastards.
At this point, though, it would be hard to quit.
Yeah.
That was funny.
You like that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because if you have that on your resume now, how are you going to get another job?
Well, you need to get a job
publicly
first.
Disgraced.
Yeah, that's true.
Get another job first. What? Because you still have to write it on there. It's still on your CV.
Wow. You can lie. You lie on your CV, folks.
What? I do not condone lying on your CV. What would you put? Just a different company name? If everything was true and you just changed the company name so that people wouldn't think.
Well, they have that company name isn't actually Ashley Madison. It's something else, though, right?
Oh, yeah.
It's like Alliance or something.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
So
it's like a totally different.
Yeah, that's fine. That's not really a lie.
We mutually decided that Sam would stay somewhere else for a period of time. We just said for now.
Also, Sam is apparently one of the most successful people on this website because he actually hooked up with people.
It's true. Real people.
Good for him.
He had real sex with real people.
Yeah.
Good job, Sam.
Good job, Sam. Not just bots.
Like, what was the point of trying to find a Christian man?
Christianity does not mean that your partner is not going to cheat on you.
I know. She's highly fixating on just find a Christian man.
Right.
That doesn't mean shit.
No, it really doesn't. It can be an add-on to someone that already has a good, like,
shared
moral
faith,
and ethical
cool.
background. Absolutely, but it doesn't make it for you.
I have so many problems with these people. Obviously, mostly with him, but
good luck to them both.
They've put all their eggs in the We're the Cheater couple basket since this came out.
I do know that it is not like you can change your life if you want to. People have changed much bigger things than this about themselves.
Sure.
It's just tough because his lack of accountability and his like kind of giant pity party for himself throughout this documentary makes me feel like that's unlikely to be what has happened.
The investigation, Eventually, the task force was shut down because there's no new leads. There was nothing.
I wonder if they figured it out. Maybe they never did. Because at that point, this person, whoever this is, or whatever team of people this is, I mean, they have people that have committed on their hands.
Yeah.
And that's, I don't know what you do with that.
Yeah.
Like, are there legal repercussions then?
And I'm glad that hopefully some people will get some justice in this case.
I actually think suing them makes sense. It's weird.
Yeah.
They convinced people they were talking to people they weren't talking to and charged them for the privilege. They told people they were deleting accounts they never deleted and charged them for the privilege. Like, it's messed up. You can't do that.
Honestly.
Right.
Eventually, Nia agreed to do marital counseling with me. So we sit down with my pastor and his wife.
And then I hit on her. She said no.
Hear somebody like lay into him and someone to like be on my side.
Does she not have people on her side at this point? In this very specific instance, I am 100% on her side.
Yeah.
Like, what?
I think it was very good for him to feel the weight of what he had done.
Which means he didn't already feel that, even though they're separated, even though he's watching his kids have to take pictures separately and go to school and he might not be there, he still didn't feel the weight.
Looking back, I just realized it's all about me. I'm not thinking about Nia. And that was not how I was going to live anymore.
He just figured this out after everything?
I feel like it's the same now, though. Him sitting on that couch crying for himself doesn't tell me that he's thinking about his wife.
Yeah. I feel like he's saying what he's practiced right now. I don't... he might... I mean, I just want to say, too, he might have accepted this. He might be sad for the pain he's caused. I don't have evidence of that because I can't trust him. You can't trust his word. I need to see something more.
Yes, the betrayals were out, but so was the real Sam.
The real Sam is a serial cheater.
Yes, and a serial liar.
So...
compulsive liar. Even lied when he was backed into a corner and could have told you the truth and
Yeah.
lied. It's gonna be the two of them together. Watch.
Yeah, for the first time.
So predictable, this.
So, yeah, I know, the two seats.
Is this their redemption arc on the documentary?
Oh, God.
This is what we're doing now? Okay.
We all saw this coming.
But I've learned continuing to be deeply in love takes...
Got that Lazarus shirt on. Is that about resurrection? Lazarus? Oh my God.
He has to lean heavy into the Christianity
The redemption arc too.
Absolutely.
Yep.
A starting point for us on how we're going to live the rest of our marriage.
But you can change and you can regrow and
Yeah,
you can
absolutely
change. You can be different.
And being empathetic and giving people another chance and accepting their past is not inherently a bad thing.
We're never gonna find out who it was, and this is gonna be it.
How crazy is that? They
Yeah,
still don't know who it is.
The craziest thing for me is that people still go to that website.
Yes. Why, dude? It's
Yeah.
probably bots.
Yeah.
The people aren't real.
You just, well, I guess ChatGPT doesn't sexy talk with you. It has boundaries. Versus these bots don't.
The version of ChatGPT you have access to
Oh,
does.
good point.
They consult with companies and make them products that they can use, like proprietary products.
Yeah.
Those products don't have the same walls
That's true.
that ChatGPT has.
Where's
Because
the
that's-
sexy time ChatGPT? Why isn't ChatGPT talking to? Is it cheating to flirt with ChatGPT knowingly?
No.
So in the Her universe, you can have a side chick who's a robot.
I don't know about the full Her universe, because that
Okay.
is a little different.
So what level of uncanny valley is acceptable to flirt with?
If you go on ChatGPT right now and start flirting with ChatGPT, you're more than welcome to do that.
I almost want to do it just to see what it'll say. Hey, sexy. It'll be like, I am a robot. You know, it'll probably just hit me right away. I want to know what it'll do now.
But it's like, I don't think watching porn is cheating either.
Yeah. Some people do.
Yeah.
Some people are like, no
do.
porn. Yeah.
Right. So, like, you really have
And
to
then
figure out what
you
your
gotta
own
think about
boundaries
sex
are.
toys,
And then
dolls, whatever.
Your boundaries are ever shifting
Yeah,
as
that's
technology
true.
changes.
That's true. Because this is, I mean, the AI and bots are new technology. I mean, I'm curious. I'm curious what other people think about that, actually. What boundaries?
I didn't realize Ashley Madison was still going.
It's an evil on a whole different level, in my opinion.
Oh, Sam, it's evil. Well, it is a up company that shouldn't exist, honestly.
It's not an evil.
Yeah.
I don't think it's an evil.
Yeah, but he is, again, coming from the Christian framework
And
of
he's trying
good
to
and evil.
he's trying to separate himself from it.
Yeah. They lured me in.
to work. It was not the same and very boring.
Very boring.
He
It was
liked
fun
it.
before.
He liked it when it was crazy. Noel's spokesperson says he remains a committed husband and father.
That's such a joke. Honestly.
All right.
Well,
I do think that it is an interesting idea thinking about what is cheating and what is not cheating.
yeah.
And like where that line is for you, like in a relationship.
Yeah, I do, and especially in the technology, because I know they have vaguely animatronic dolls now, and they've got like the bots, and in our lifetime, there will probably be AI activated talking sex robots.
Already they
You know?
have, I mean, this is probably, you might have to bleep some of this, but already they have those fleshlights
Yeah.
where they're literally molded off of porn stars
Specific
like parts.
Yeah.
And is that, I mean, is that cheating then? If
Or does it
you-
need to be two people touching each other?
Right. Yeah.
Where's your line?
Yeah, where's
And
where's the line?
The truth is, it's couple to couple, person to person.
Sure.
Because you can be like I mean, there are all sorts of open relationships or whatever, but then there'll be parameters on an open relationship where it'll be like no kissing, or it'll be like don't bring them here, or it'll be like
Right.
all sorts of stuff around
Or
that.
closed relationships where it's
Yeah.
like, yeah, you can go out and flirt with people at a bar, but
You
like
can flirt, but don't-
no physical contact.
Look, don't touch.
Yeah,
There's all sorts
absolutely.
of shit like that.
All kinds
so
of
it's
stuff.
really what you agree to is
Is
what
going to a
is and
strip
isn't cheating.
club cheating, is
Yeah.
getting a lap dance
Yeah.
cheating, is getting going to a private
Yeah.
room in a strip
You'll, at
club
the same
cheating.
time, you'll hear people say like, my partner better pay that stripper.
Right.
You know what I mean? You have
Yeah.
all sorts of different
Yeah.
like perspectives on that stuff.
Right.
Yeah, that's interesting.
I think that's like worth considering, like in this age of AI, like what does that look like? And then I think one of the other interesting things for me with this is the idea that these members are not real. And like
Yeah.
that really, when I heard that Ashley Madison was still operational, immediately I'm like, who is on it? And now I'm like, bots are on it.
Yeah, because it says claims to have 70 million. So
Right.
they've got like 20,000 people. Well, I bet there are like a lot of vices too, where the biggest users are super users, where 90% of
yeah.
the business is from 10% of the users, or
Right.
like 1% or something.
Yeah.
They've got a couple of people on there funneling cash. This is like weird too, because how many people had their lives ruined because they were flirting with bots? That is so messed up. They potentially took people's lives in a way, or were associated with that because of the fact that they were selling bots to people. That is so weird.
I wish that like culturally, as human beings, we had like less shame and embarrassment attached to sex and sexual
Yeah.
preference, because I think a lot of that is behind like the shame that people felt from being associated with a website like this. And then
They felt like they couldn't get past it ever, and their life was over.
Right. And
Yeah.
the betrayal they knew that they'd caused to their partners
really
and things
sad.
like that. But it sucks because when you watch that one woman whose
Yeah.
husband is
from Louisiana.
from Louisiana, she basically already knew,
Yeah.
you know? And
Yeah.
like she had already kind of come to terms with it, and she already was like, you know what, I love my husband, and like this isn't a deal breaker for me.
Yeah, that is so sad.
It just reminds me that you really
So wasteful.
don't know how someone is going to react to something unless you get up the courage to tell them.
You have to give them the opportunity.
Absolutely. And like it's sad that people don't, and they don't feel like they can.
And then they never found the hacker. They never found the
Mhm.
impact team. And then
Yeah.
a bunch of the people we talked to quit. And now the company still apparently exists.
I feel like it's, you know, when you have like call centers, I feel like
Yeah.
that's what Ashley Madison is now.
It's
It's
a
just call
sex
centers
call
of
center.
like IT professionals, like stepping in when they need to for like the bots
Yeah.
or like doing damage control and stuff like that. I just feel like I can't imagine there are a ton of, or really any
Actual
like real people
Yeah.
using this.
Is it just bots talking to bots at this point? Like, where's the money coming from? I don't know. Yeah.
How do you feel about the Sam and Nia?
I don't like them.
Yeah.
I don't like how they handled any of this. I don't like the way they show up in the documentary.
Yeah.
I especially don't like Sam. I just got to say that too. And I do hope them well, though. I hope that Sam is a different person, and I hope that he continues to learn how to accept what he did, because I think that he's still on that journey.
Yeah.
And then I hope that he never over his family like he did already. It's possible he's at least locked it down. I don't know that he's like a different person as much as he is. Maybe like, again, comparing him to a dry drunk, with the way I see him show up on this, I feel like that's where he is right now. And it'd be great to see him in a place where I was like, oh, that guy's sober. You know what I mean? I don't feel that right now.
I think it's tough for me to even say that I believe that he's not engaging in like anything outside of his relationship now, because the way he was able to like lie to his family and then put out that video where he was lying to all their subscribers as well, it really calls into question for me like how you'd be able to trust that from someone. And then he's leaning into the same thing he leaned into before, which is his religion, which is not, it's hypocritical.
It's not going to get him out of it.
Right.
It's not going to get him out.
And it didn't
stop him the first time.
Right. It didn't stop you the first time. So how is it stopping you now?
Also, and this is all his word, he says that when he stopped using it is when he had thousands of adoring fans online. He doesn't have that anymore. He has people going on his website telling him he's a piece of and
is that, did you look at their YouTube channel? That's like people
yeah, I mean they're still going on in their comments. It seems kind of to go on somebody's thing and just drag them repeatedly.
It really does. Like, please don't do that.
Yeah, please don't do that. We're not encouraged. I actually do. I the opposite of encourage that.
Yeah.
Like, I'd prefer the internet was a healthier place.
Yeah.
At this point, attacking this guy feels like his wife has accepted it. They're trying to move on.
Yeah.
I'm not saying give them viewership at all.
No.
But like let them be at a certain point. They've had their comeuppance.
Do you know something that bothers me? In one of the previous episodes of this documentary, they talked about him like finding his wife's urine in the toilet and checking it for her being pregnant.
It was clearly all staged.
That was a lie they both engaged in.
Yep.
And that makes me not trust either of them.
That's why I say I don't like them.
Right.
I don't like her either, and this is an example.
Yeah.
Because she engaged in lying to her audience and fan base.
And then now it's like, yes, I understand that this was a lot about him and a lot about his lies, but I feel like as a couple, they also lied.
They need to look in the mirror
quite a bit, right? And that bugs me. Like, I don't. And then, so the other end of this is we looked them up on YouTube after we watched this because we wanted to see whether,
like what's going on.
Right. Like, do they still have a channel? And they do. And they're capitalizing on this Netflix documentary pretty hard.
They're trying to. And they have some of their best views in months or even sort of years at this point or something off of it, because it's kind of like what they have. They don't have their family channel died because and it was doing really well, and it's not doing anything anymore because you can't build a brand on what they did and then continue to make it past this.
Yeah.
So I wonder actually if they're going to do a rebrand in the future. But I actually want to say something about that lying thing, and it's we've been talking about it. You hear it in all these like dating shows. It's like. And the way that she must have approached this is, I believe that they lied about the urine thing. I believe that they were coming up with a bunch of BS, and then she's engaging in that, and then it's that thing of like, I'm gonna lie to y'all, but you better not lie. You better not lie to me.
Yeah.
So she's engaging in the behavior to thousands of people, potentially, allegedly, and then is upset that somebody is doing the same thing to her that she's lying with. It's like, so like you and I, we're not coming here lying to people, and then I'm expecting you to be like, we're just ourselves and we tell our opinions.
Right.
But we're not building this entire like false narrative.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's like she's engaging in the behavior and then expecting the people around her to be different.
Yes.
It feels hypocritical.
Yeah.
Again, I don't think she deserves what happened to her.
No, of course not.
But she's a liar too, dude. Like, whatever.
And that's what makes me
so
not trust
weird.
Either of them is like the focus on, in my opinion, the focus on their brand through this.
Yeah.
Because that really is.
That's
even
a lot of it was.
And their participation in the documentary feels that way too, to me.
Yep.
That's a buildup of their brand. I don't think they went on this as like a cautionary tale for others or to help other people. I think they did it to make money in YouTube.
And I feel like Netflix was very kind to them in the way that they showed them here. It was Netflix giving them a carrot.
Yes.
So that they would be on the documentary and share their story, because their story is sensational. It's a big selling point for this.
Right.
It's and I think I haven't watched them, but they posted videos like, do I regret doing the Netflix documentary, or what they got wrong, or whatever. So like they're talking about it, but they got so lucky.
They did.
Honestly, the way Netflix handled this shit, because I would go way harder on them.
Netflix essentially platformed them.
Yeah.
Didn't question some of the stuff like the him finding the pregnancy, that there are a lot of reasons why that is a questionable thing in terms of whether or not that was true. That's a lie they both participated in. And then watching them at the end of this, or even going to their channel now, I'm like, how would I know if either of you are lying to me?
I would just assume all lies all the time.
Right.
And yeah, it's just so uncomfortable.
Well, thank you for watching. Let us know what you thought about this whole situation and Sam and Nia's participation in it. Like and subscribe. And if you're interested in watching other Netflix shows, typically we do a little bit lighter stuff, more like Perfect Match.
And then Love is Blind.
Love is Blind. Brazil, we're going to be doing soon. And
UK later. The Mole, all that stuff. Subscribe and then you'll be able to see that. And we'll see
with your eyes.
With your eyes. Yeah, you can hear it too with your ears. Unless you have an impairment in either of those, in which case, you know, subtitles and or accommodations. Digital accommodations. Anyway, we'll see you next time for that stuff.
Okay, bye.
Thank you, bye.
And then I got it knocked, and I started going,
ridiculous.
All of those tearjerker.
Hey, we're gonna go on a cruise this summer. You should come with us.